welcome to another video, or if this is your first video of mine, hey, how you doing? As you can see, I'm with someone new today.
Hello.
This is Ashleigh. If you've been watching my reading vlogs, you'll know that I've been seeing a lot of Ashleigh recently, and she's agreed to be on camera. I have to look back at her because I'm tiny and she's a whole heck of a lot taller than me, so I am substantially closer to the camera than she is. Because otherwise you would just get, like, the bottom of her head. So sorry about the slightly bizarre angle and the fact that the camera's probably going to be all over the place with focus because we're not in the same place because height difference. It'll do.
Yeah,
it'll do.
That's something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mystery of who's going to be in focus. Anyway, as you can tell from the title of today's video, we're going to be doing the guessing a book by its cover challenge thingamajig. Ashleigh's not a great reader. She's just read her first book in 10 years.
Slightly embarrassing.
It's not that bad.
But I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, we're pulling you out of it. I've encouraged her to get back into reading and lent some books across, like the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, which is she's now purchased it and finished the first book and devouring the second one, so it's going well. We're making improvements.
Yes.
I'm proud. You proud?
I'm very proud.
Good, good. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I have picked out 5 books that I'm going to encourage Ashleigh to tell me about without knowing anything about. So, how this works, I'm sure you're probably all familiar with the concept of it. I will show Ashleigh the book cover. She is not allowed to read the blurb, but she can read whatever is on the cover, and she will then provide me with a synopsis of the book, and we will rate how well you do based on nothing but the cover. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Might not go very well.
It's all for a laugh, isn't it? It's all for a bit of fun. So yeah, I picked out 5, and let's just go for the first one. So, first up, we have got Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is really reflective. Hello, light. There we go. That's the cover. And, Ashleigh, tell me what Hunted by Megan Spooner is all about based on nothing but the cover.
It looks like it's about a young lady who hunts in the forest. That's all I'm getting. In the snow.
Can you make a
story?
Survive? To survive.
Hunts in the snow to survive.
What has led her to those circumstances? You can read everything on the cover, just not on the back.
I'm reading. Oh, it's a romance. So maybe she finds her lover in the forest? Or he saves her. She needs to hunt to survive. He comes in, rich guy, maybe, saves her from her poverty.
You could be onto something.
Could I?
You could well be onto something.
It doesn't really give a lot. It's just the back of her body.
What do you think about this catchline here? A beauty deadlier than the beast.
Oh, is this another like Beauty and the Beast sort of theme? There's a lot of these going around.
Could well be, yeah. I went on a bit of a thing. Like when I was in like my 3rd reread of A Court of Thorns and Roses, I then discovered this and then I discovered others and it's like, Beauty and the Beast.
Maybe this will have to be my next book.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, does she break a curse? All that. The whole Beauty and the Beast thing. Completely.
The whole Beauty and the Beast thing, okay.
She's gone to hunt to save her family, maybe. Finds someone in the woods, probably trips over and finds him. Fall in love, breaks a curse. Live happily ever after?
If you're saying you might want to make it your next read, I don't want to correct you.
Oh, you're doing that again.
That's a conundrum.
You're doing that with this book at the moment.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't want to spoil A Court of Mist and Fury. No one wants to spoil A Court of Mist and Fury. But you know, you're not far wrong with that. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling about a young girl. Her name is Eva. That's probably a convenient time to tell you it's a twist on the Beauty and the Beast, and it's set in Russia and is also based on Russian folklore as well. And she does indeed go into the forest hunting to, in some ways, provide for her family because her father has disappeared. And she may or may not stumble upon a beast, but is he quite that beastly?
That is the question.
That is a question, but I won't tell you any more than that if you might want to read it, so that kind of
I think
stuffs this up.
I will like this, won't I?
I can imagine you probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, well, not only have we accomplished number 1, we've also given you another recommendation.
My 4th book.
This is going so well.
Yeah.
So yes, that was Hunted by Megan Spooner. Next, we'll go for The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. Now, you've been watching my reading vlogs, so...
Oh, is this a test?
This isn't a test, this is just, if you remember my reading vlogs, it might help you a little bit, because I read it quite recently in one of my reading vlogs. But it's not a test.
Something to do with the sea, as in the wicked deep.
One would assume.
So a curse? Or is it all underwater? Like mermaids? Secrets lurk beneath the surface. It doesn't give much away.
Underwater. Oh.
Yeah?
I don't know what
Am
my
I
dance is doing. This I hadn't noticed before though.
A little skull.
A little skull.
So there's death,
death,
mermaids,
curse, water, mermaids.
mermen. Love story with a curse.
A love story with a curse of the
But
mermen.
underwater.
Do you reckon the whole book's underwater? Does everything
There's a
happen
lot of
underwater?
blue.
There is a lot of blue. I really enjoyed this cover, actually.
There's no islands on this cover.
No, that was totally a stab in the dark, but you went the right way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like Ariel.
I'll give you a little push. There aren't any mermaids.
Oh, okay. I'm way off then.
Well, you're not way off. There is a curse, and there are some maidens underwater, but they're not mermaids.
Okay. Close.
Yeah. You got the curse and the underwater and the dead people. How do people normally die around
Drowning.
water? Hey.
People drown and then they belong to the sea?
In a way. Yeah. I really enjoyed this book. Do you want me to tell you what this is about now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is about a town called Sparrow. They have like a, what do you call them, like a cove sort of thing, like the bay with all the water, and there's a little island out there called Lemur Island where the lighthouse is, and there's a girl that lives on the island and her name is Penny, and she's very familiar with the curse of Sparrow, and their curse is that 2 centuries previous, so 200 years ago, they drowned 3 sisters for supposed witchcraft. So these 3 sisters were like irresistible to men, and men were cheating on their wives and running away from their families to spend nights with these girls. So they were obviously accused of witchcraft, and the town drowned them, tied rocks to their feet and drowned them out in the ocean. And instead of dying, they became
the sea.
Yeah, sort of. And every summer during swan season, because they are the Swan Sisters, they rise again, and their spirits from the ocean inhabit girls that live on this island, and those girls are then irresistible to men, and they lure men out into the sea and drown them to stay with them forever.
Which is kind of like what mermaids do, isn't it?
It's like
when they sing
like sirens,
to the sirens.
Similar sort of thing, absolutely, except they're not mermaids. Yeah,
that was quite cool.
Yeah, it is quite cool. I really enjoyed it, and there is a love story in there as well, obviously, because there always is.
There has to be, really.
Next up, we have Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire. Ooh, what's this one about? It's
it's not very
tiny book.
Yeah, it's not very fat.
This was one of my few and far between 5-star reads of the year. I've only had 3 5-star reads this year.
We know this story isn't true, but it's truth. Doesn't give much away. There's a door in a forest.
There's a door in the forest. Where else might there have been a door in the forest?
Oh, Narnia? Oh, okay.
Narnia, eh?
Oh, is that what it's about? Like a secret door goes to a secret world. Every heart a doorway. Goes through the door, finds someone.
It's a very loose story, Ashleigh.
Well, it's not giving much away.
Make a story up from your door in a forest.
She's in her normal home. Her normal home.
Her normal home.
Goes through a door.
Goes through
a random door that she finds, maybe?
A random door that she finds.
Maybe it's not her home.
Oh.
And then goes to a different world.
Okay.
Just like Narnia. And ends up in a forest. And falls in love with whoever is behind that door.
Okay, so you're going down love story again.
Well, because it says every heart.
Okay.
So heart, love. Close?
There's no love story in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't make any sense then. Every heart a doorway.
Every heart a doorway. I think the way I now interpret this title, not that I think I've ever discussed this before, is the book surrounds children. And I think if we attack the title from that perspective, every heart being every child has a heart, and each heart longs for something, and their heart and their longing leads them to a doorway.
And then they have a choice to make from that door, which door to go into.
We're not far wrong. I say we're not far wrong. I know what the book is about.
So they have to make a decision. Like, you either enter this doorway and go into
a Narnia-esque world.
Yeah. Or the other doorway leads to something bad. A bad path.
It's a doorway. There's no 2 doorways.
Okay.
It's a doorway. The choice we're facing here, this has turned into more of a discussion than anything. I'm analysing the title from the perspective of someone that's now read this book.
Yeah, I'm still not getting anything.
A doorway. So a child's heart and longing has led them to this doorway, and this doorway represents the barrier between their normal life. And I liked it when you said maybe it's not their home, because that is the fundamental thing that all the children in this book have in common. They don't feel like their home is their home. They don't belong.
They don't belong.
So their heart longs for somewhere where they belong, and a door presents themselves.
So they have to decide whether they take that next step
Into the...
or stay where they already know, but they're not happy.
Essentially, that is the decision that those children will have made prior to when this book takes place. This book takes place further down the line than that. So that's almost like the backstory.
So once they've gone through the door.
And once they've somehow ended up coming back.
Back to their old life.
But they don't want to be back in their old life.
So they're trying to get back to where they once were. Trying to find this doorway again.
Yeah.
It's Narnia.
Well, you say that. There is a particular part in this book where one of the characters go, it's like everyone thinks it's Narnia. It's not Narnia. Narnia's not real. What we've done is real. So they do actually reference Narnia. But they take the piss out of Narnia.
Yeah.
So this story is about children who have gone into their fantasy worlds where they feel they belong and they found their home at last, and then they somehow end up coming back to their normal lives, and because they tell all these fantastic stories, their parents think they've gone slightly crazy. So they go to Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children, where Eleanor West rehabilitates them into normal life. However, Eleanor West is a liar who actually... she is one of the wayward children herself. She knows where her doorway is, and she hopes to give these children the best of the life they now have until their door reappears.
So your door will reappear at the right time in your life for you to go back?
Potentially.
If you're
Maybe
worthy.
not. If you're worthy, yes. If you're worthy of going back into... It's a tiny book, but so much happens. There is so much character development and so much plot in a... What is this, like 160 pages? So much happens in this. But you were along the right lines. I feel like...
I mean, I had quite a lot of help there.
Yeah. The cover doesn't give much away for this, but I think this book has so many layers to it for such a small book, and there isn't really one way to summarise what this book is about, because there is another big aspect that happens in this book that I believe anyone reading it shouldn't know about until they're reading it, so I won't say, because it is what made this a 5-star book for me, because I didn't know about it and it took me by surprise. So I'll leave you with that thought. Next up, book number 4, we have got Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell.
I'm getting Alice in Wonderland.
Because of the card, right?
Because of the card and because of him.
Her.
Looks like a him. And the cat. It's all shouting Alice in Wonderland to me.
You know, I get that actually. I hadn't thought of the cat as like the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
But I get that.
And he is a wizard?
Yeah. You tell me.
With the flame. Cat's his little sidekick. I think he's a bad guy. She's a bad woman. And there's a lot of tricks and twists.
Hold on, don't look at the camera for a second. Close your eyes.
Oh, now I want to look.
You can look at the end. Twists and tricks,
and lying and... Because of the cards. You play a game of cards and it's all about the poker face.
You could say it's all a con game.
Oh.
So you've pretty much got exactly what the blurb's saying, but that doesn't tell you much about the story.
All it says. A war between the two with
a magic
lies
battle
and
of deception.
Yeah. Maybe neither of them are actually good by the looks of him.
Oh, you don't like the looks of him?
He doesn't look like a friendly person.
Okay.
And nor does Is that a cat?
It's a squirrel cat.
Squirrel cat looks evil.
Squirrel cat is evil.
And she's upside down, so I don't know if that means something. Yeah, a battle between
two evils by the sounds
evil
of it.
wizards. A witch and a wizard.
Alright, I'm just gonna go straight in and read the blurb to you.
Is that pretty much... Have I actually got that one?
Kellen is moments away from facing his first Mage's Duel and the start of 4 trials that will make him a spellcaster. There's just one problem. His magic is gone.
Be a slight problem.
As his 16th birthday approaches, Kellen falls back on his cunning in a bid to avoid total disgrace. But when a daring stranger arrives in town, she challenges Kellen to take a different path. Farias Parfait is one of the mysterious Argossi, a traveller who lives by her wit and the 3 decks of cards she carries. She's difficult and unpredictable, but she may be Kellen's only hope.
So she's not actually evil?
Neither of them are evil, no.
They both look so evil.
They're in a very difficult situation. Kellen has lost his magic in a culture where his magic determines everything. If he has no magic, he will be a slave. Despite the fact that he is the son of the most powerful enchanter in their
so it's
culture.
quite a disappointment for him to...
So if his son has no magic, his son is disgraced, his son will be a slave. And he's losing his magic. And he meets Ferius, who teaches him tricks and cons and how to potentially help himself.
To not become a slave, but without magic. So all the tricks.
Absolutely.
Kind of there.
You were kind of there. You got the magic and trickery and things not being right and it being deception and stuff, which... You know, you got the back of the book spot on without seeing it, so well done you. Lastly, we have another book that I really like, and that is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett, with that cover that you can definitely see in all lights, because blue on blue was the best design choice.
Oh, I thought that was the sea. It's not the sea at all, it's mountains. Oh yeah, it's hard to actually, like, see it.
It's because it's all one colour. Who designed this?
Okay, so... A woman who lives in the mountains with a fox. She's following a journey, following the stars to a better world.
It's very loose. It's basically any fantasy story. There is a woman on a journey to a better world.
That's all I'm getting. She lives in the mountains with some wild animals. And she has to follow the darkest star.
To be fair, the cover doesn't give you much. I give you that.
No, it's not just me. Can't be just me. Because there's not even anything else on there.
It is mountains, a girl, a fox, and
with
the title.
Some stars. Maybe she's on a quest.
Oh, a quest.
Follow the darkest star to the answers that you seek. Because it's not given anything else away. Those are her, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her name is Camden.
They all have such nice names, don't they?
They do. They really do.
Yeah, is she in Iceland way? With the Northern Lights?
It's that sort of setting. Yeah.
Because
it's not a real country, it's a fantasy setting, but it's that sort of...
Yeah, because you can
really
see
cold, mountainous, northern place.
That is all I can say.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I can enlighten you and say it is about Camden, who is on a quest.
Oh, there you go.
She's on a quest to find something that lies at the top of the tallest mountain. She has her entire life she's wanted to be a mountain climber, an explorer, go on royal expeditions and quests for the Emperor.
Okay.
And then the Emperor's royal explorer ends up coming to her town before going on this quest to find something that lies at the top of the tallest mountain. And her older sister is scheduled to be going with him, and she's a bit bitter about that.
Ooh.
And then her older sister does something bizarre and ends up not going. So Camden goes in her place.
Which is what she always wanted to do.
Which is what she always wanted to do, yes.
Okay.
And she realises she has the skills that the Royal Explorer has. They're like on par. She's doing what she loves doing and realising that she's actually quite talented at it. And then a whole lot more fantasy than you would expect from a book about mountain climbing happens.
And a love story.
And there is a love story, but there's also a deep story of betrayal. And it's the first in a series, and I can't wait for the second one, but it doesn't come out until December.
Oh, that's a long time to wait.
I know. It was so good. I really recommend it if people haven't read it. I know it came in a fairy loot, so I can imagine there are a lot of people that haven't read it that have it. I recommend it.
You can't see it, really.
The cover really doesn't help in this scenario. But yes, mountain climbing and fantasy, and this is what sparked, well not sparked because the Polar Bear Explorers Club also helped in that, but sparked my love of the polar fantasy genre. But yeah, I think you did alright. You got the quest, and you got the like Arctic mountain setting.
And there wasn't much to go by.
No, that is a very poor cover. I mean, look at the spine. Who thinks that's a good spine design?
I didn't even look at that.
Just white.
Yeah, nothing. Ran out of ink.
Okay, well that's that. That's 5 books, and honestly, I think you did pretty well.
It's not too bad for my first time.
You got the base plot of all of them. You did.
I think I did pretty well.
You got the Hunter and the Beauty and the Beast retelling.
I think I want to watch that. Watch it. I want to read that one.
You're very welcome to, but I would tackle Akamath,
nothing.
Akawar first.
Nothing else is entering.
Okay, well it'll still be here when you get around to it.
Yeah, I'll borrow that one next.
You're welcome to my library.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the base plot of all of them. I'm honestly quite impressed.
For my first time, I did alright.
Yeah, and if anything, this really just emphasises that all I read is fantasy. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed. Have you enjoyed?
It's interesting how much you can get from a cover. I
Or how little you can get from a cover.
And actually, the cover's the first thing, like first impressions.
Absolutely.
I don't think I would read that one. Can't
even
even
the Darkest
see it.
Stars.
Yeah, I don't think I'd read that one from that cover.
To be honest, when I first opened it, I mean, the unboxing's on my channel somewhere, but when I first opened it, I was a bit like, well, this cover looks poop.
Yeah. I mean,
and then
shiny.
I picked it up on a whim, and the inside is really good. I really enjoyed the story. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it and can't wait for the next one, but the cover really does that book no justice.
No.
That's that. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see Ashleigh here again, come closer into frame.
It's going to go out of focus.
If you want to see Ashleigh again, then leave some comments down below of what you would like us to film. Yes, you're really tall. You are, like,
I just automatically
squatting.
started going down.
Okay, well, that's that. Again, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. Chat to me down in the comments about all sorts and everything, and leave your suggestions down there. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday and some days in between if feeling generous. And I will see you next time. Bye!